Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you a few highlights from the U.S. Figure Skating Governing Council concerning testing. First, let's talk about virtual testing. This option is going to continue as a regular part of the U.S. Figure Skating testing structure. It was initially approved as a fixed-term pandemic accommodation, but it's no longer temporary. Now it's a standard available option in the U.S. Figure Skating test structure. This is really exciting news, especially if you suffer from anxiety when taking an in-person test, or if you have trouble finding an in-person test that will accommodate your schedule, or if there just isn't even a club near you that offers testing. You can now choose in-person or virtual testing, whichever works best for you or your preferences. However, you do have to find a club that's offering virtual testing. So if you need to find a test session for yourself or your skater, U.S. Figure Skating keeps a spreadsheet of all upcoming test sessions, both in-person and virtual. You can find it on the U.S. Figure Skating test session calendar by logging into Members Only, Skater Journey, Testing, then scroll down to the bottom where the test calendar link is. And if you know of a test that's not listed on this calendar, ask the club's test chair to email memberservices@usfigureskating.org with all the details, and they'll add it. Let's help each other out by getting those test sessions on the calendar and spreading the word. One thing you should note about virtual testing is that figure tests are excluded from virtual testing. And if you've never seen a virtual test, I have that video of my skater Peyton where she took her pre-preliminary moves test virtually back in February. There's a link to that in the description down below. All the instructions for virtual testing can be found on the U.S. Figure Skating website. But here's a brief overview. Tests are subject to the protocols as defined in the requirements within the technical notifications. And you must have met all the prerequisites for the test by the date the test was skated. Each test must be executed in one continuous shot without stopping the video. In other words, you can't do one move, stop the video, do another move, stop the video. You have to do the entire test in one shot, just like you would if it was an in-person test. The test candidate must be clearly identifiable in the video and free from other skaters interfering with the test. And restarts and reskates are not permitted. For moves in the field tests, the skater may stop between moves briefly, but you have to keep the camera running. And when the skater stops, it can't be any longer than 10 seconds. Also, background music is not allowed. So if you're filming a virtual test during a regular freestyle session, it's probably a good idea to let all the skaters on the session know what you're doing so that they can try their best to stay out of your skater's way, and also let them know that they can't play music during that time. For free skate, pairs, pattern dance, and free dance tests, the music must be played loud enough to be captured on the video. And any video that is found to have been edited or modified from its original form will invalidate the test, but the retry rule will still apply. All other normal test rules for in-person tests will remain intact. You do also have to submit a performance affidavit stating that the video is in its original format and has not been altered in any way. This must be signed by the skater, the skater's coach, the person that takes a video of the test, and the test proctor. Video must also have been taken within the last 30 days of the test submission deadline. So you can't use something that you recorded 2 months ago or a year ago. You have to use something that you've recently recorded in the last 30 days. In order to guarantee the integrity of the virtual test, skaters must confirm a proctor for their performance. The proctor must be someone that's impartial, but someone of authority. For example, rink management, the director of the skating school, or a local official. But it may not be a coach or choreographer who has worked with the skater. It can't be a training mate or a parent or guardian of the athlete or any training mates. The skater is responsible for choosing the proctor and setting up all the logistics. Proctors must watch the program performance, verify that the full performance was completed on the date and time that's indicated in the athlete's recording and complete the performance affidavit. They also must verify that the video was executed in one continuous shot without stopping, and verify that the submitted video has not been altered and is the stated performance. For more information, go to Members Only, then Skater Journey, and select Testing, or see page 64 of the CROA. Next, retry wait times. This is super exciting because you no longer have to wait 28 days to retest your moves test. The wait time before a skater may retry a test is reduced from 28 days to 14 days for all moves tests, several lower level free skate tests, most dance tests, several adult level tests, plus all figures tests. For the complete list of all exams that this rule applies to, see the Combined Report of Action, page 65 to 66. And taking this a step further, there is now no waiting period at all for standard free skate, pairs, or partnered free dance tests marked retry at the juvenile level or higher, or adult skate tests at the silver level or higher. But tests may only be taken one time in a calendar day. Again, see the Combined Report of Action, pages 65 to 66 for complete details. Here's even more exciting news. Passing with honors. 4 specific U.S. figure skating tests, currently evaluated on a pass retry basis. Now, a pass with honors designation is also available. This includes several free skate, moves in the field, and dance tests too. See pages 68 through 69 of the Combined Report of Action for a complete list of the eligible tests. And yes, pre-preliminary moves in the field is included. How exciting is that? Finally, test elements have been reordered. The elements on the adult pre-bronze moves test have been reordered. The new order places the forward and backward crossovers at the end of the test. This way, the rest of the test matches the order of the elements in the pre-preliminary moves. And if you ask me, that's just logical. So now the adult pre-bronze moves test, elements are ordered as follows: stroking, consecutive edges, right and left foot spirals, the waltz 8, and finally forward and backward crossovers. This change makes it possible to run an adult pre-bronze moves test and a pre-preliminary moves in the fields test concurrently at a test session. So if you watched that test that I posted with my skaters Monica and Shirley, one was testing the adult pre-bronze moves and the other one was testing pre-preliminary moves. They could have actually taken their tests together. That would have been great, especially if there wasn't any other adult taking the pre-bronze moves test. Of course, it would have had to take place after July 1st, and it was a little earlier than that. They took that in June. If you missed that video, there's a link in the description down below. Please note that the Governing Council's Combined Report of Action, or CROA, has all the official wording for these changes, and I am not part of Governing Council. You can view the CROA by logging into your US Figure Skating account, then click the hamburger menu and select Leadership. Then click on Governing Council. All of these items became effective on July 1st. I have some videos coming up with IJS checklists for each level from juvenile to senior. These are an excellent tool to ensure that you've fulfilled all the required elements and are maximizing your points for each element. These checklists will help you verify the compliance of your elements. I'll also provide you with some helpful reminders on repeat rules, jump restrictions, spin features, and much more. So be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a video. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And if you think it could help someone else, share it with them and share it on your social media too. This is Amy. Happy skating. I will see you real soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.